Okay, Gurave Gaura Chandaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktamenda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Dandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. All devotees, thank you for coming. Okay, even Vasuda came. Richard, can you hear me?
I don't know if Richard knows how to operate these.
No, he's listening. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear him. Loud and clearly. Okay, so can you even remember what chapter we were on last time? Is Samskriti there? David, Samskriti is there? Can she hear? Who's Don Fraser?
I live in Northern California.
Okay. Have I met you before?
No, I don't think we've met, but I've been on here with you before.
Oh, you're vegetarian?
Yes.
Do you want to hear about anything? Are you chanting a little Harinam?
Yes.
Anything special you want to hear about or talk about? Or you have any questions? Or?
No, whatever you want to talk about is fine with me.
No. It must be something you're like little thinking about or you have some doubt about. Or...
If it comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay. So, so we're talking from Bhagavad Gita. So the scriptures are of two types, just like we use two eyes to see. In the same way, Supreme Lord can be seen through two types of scriptures. One is called the Shruti, one is called the Smriti. Okay, Shruti means which is directly spoken by God, by Krishna himself. So mostly that means the four Vedas, the Rig Veda, Samo, the Yajur, and the Atharva Veda. So these are called Shruti. Shruti means to hear. So that which is directly spoken or heard from the Supreme Lord himself, that is called Shruti. And Smriti means that which is revealed in the heart of the perfected souls. So Shruti and Smriti is like the same thing. Just like a tree and the fruit, same thing. But still something special may come in the fruit. Okay, not present in the tree. So Bhagavad Gita, even though it's part of Mahabharata, which was compiled by Vyasadeva 5,200 years ago, still Bhagavad Gita is a little special because spoken directly by God, by Krishna. So in simple language, the Shrutis spoken by Bhagavan, by God, and the Smritis means spoken about Bhagavan. But anyway, both have their glories, both have their position. So by these two eyes, one can know the truth as it is. So this Bhagavad Gita is one of the 108 Upanishads. Okay, the Upanishads, that which brings you near to the Supreme Lord is called Upanishad. I guess maybe many of you have studied or heard the Isopanishad. Right? Isopanishad is actually directly from the Yajur Veda. So there are 108 main Upanishads. Some say that's why the devotees, when they chant names of Krishna on beads, there are 108 beads in a rosary or a japamala. Some say that is the 108 Upanishads. So of the 108 Upanishads, this Bhagavad Gita is considered the essence, the topmost. because no one knows the Supreme Lord more than the Supreme Lord. Right? Krishna has many potencies, but the Samvit potency means that potency by which Krishna knows himself and by which others may know Krishna. That is called the Samvit Shakti, the potency of knowledge. So Krishna is the presiding deity of knowledge. So in simple language, no one can speak more about Krishna than Krishna himself. Right? So other scriptures speak about God, but Bhagavad Gita is when God speaks about himself. So for that reason, Sarva Upanishad Gavo Dugdha Gopala Nanda. All the Upanishads are like a cow. So these days we're a little divorced from our agrarian roots, but cow never give milk without a calf, because when she see the calf, she release her milk. I mean, so much milk flows when she sees the calf. This is affection of the mother. So if all the scriptures are like a cow, who's the calf? That is Krishna, that is Arjuna. And Krishna himself is the milkman, extracting the essence. And what is that nectar that he's taking out of the Upanishads? That is, Bhagavad Gita. Hang on, just excuse me, I have to plug in. Okay, so is Samskriti hearing all this? Can she hear? Can she speak anything?
You know, she was coming and going. Maybe she has a bad internet connection.
Okay, she came with her mother and sister to Vrindavan like 12 years ago. And since then we kept in touch, and she said she can't understand Bhagavad Gita, so we thought we'd speak something for her, no? So, this Bhagavad Gita, if we want to understand it, then we have to put ourselves in the position of Arjuna. Means if our understanding is the same as Arjuna's understanding, then we have understood correctly. Why Arjuna is the recipient of this Bhagavad Gita. So in this Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked 16 questions. So Arjuna is very fortunate because he could get perfect knowledge from the source of all knowledge, Krishna himself. So actually, whenever Krishna comes to the material world, Arjuna comes with him as an eternal associate, like Krishna's paraphernalia. So Arjuna also has perfect knowledge by Krishna's grace, but Krishna put him into bewilderment, so that in a bewildered state, Arjuna could ask these 16 questions. And the answer to these 16 questions is Bhagavad Gita. Now, we have many, many questions, many doubts, many inquiries, but to whom shall we put it? If we put our questions to a defective person, an imperfect person, someone who is bewildered, a bewildered person, then we cannot get perfect answers. So Arjuna is so much fortunate because he is placing his questions to the Bande Krishnam Jagat Guru, to Krishna, who is the original Guru of the three worlds. So Arjuna has so much good fortune. No? So this Bhagavad Gita can be understood if we put ourselves in a submissive mood. So the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, actually Krishna's not speaking anything. No? Oh, Chitananda, my God. COVID has forced him to take shelter of Harikatha. So, what was I saying before Chitananda distracted me? Yes, so the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is not speaking anything at all. You know, sometimes you meet someone who just speaks on and not listening to anything. That time an intelligent person remains silent. You know? So the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna speaking of it. So actually most people, when they study Bhagavad Gita, they get to the first chapter and pretty much they run away. Because so many names, so many persons, and people who have no background, then a little difficult for them to enter. like I can give a mundane example, no, just like a soap opera or something that's been going for years. If you just turn it on and you just watch a show in the middle of it, then very hard to follow who's who coming from where, what direction the story is going. So little history of Bhagavad Gita necessary. So that is described in the Mahabharata. Okay, Mahabharata, I think, is 100,000 verses, if I'm not mistaken. 100,000 verses, Mahabharata. And the essence of the Mahabharata is the 750 verses of this Bhagavad Gita. So it's less than 1%. No? So Vyasadeva, he is very intelligent. He knows very few people have taste in hearing about Krishna. No, like our Gurudev, Srila Gogamraj would say, we advertise pure Harikatha, hear about Krishna, who will come? 10, 15, 20 people. And he would use, in his own way, he would say, but if we had a naked dance club with free alcohol, he would say like that, no? Hundreds of thousands of people would come. No? So Vyasadeva, no, people have too much taste in materialistic topics. So he entrapped people to hear about Krishna by giving so many materialistic topics. That is Mahabharata. Okay, where's Amy from? Okay, she hanged up.
Hare Krishna, I'm in Eugene. Rukmini gave me the link.
Oh, okay, good to hear from you. Thank you. So Mahabharata is full of love stories, betrayal, fighting between brothers, you know, all this type of thing that people have too much interest in. So through this topic, then Vyasadeva attract people to hear about Krishna. So this Bhagavad Gita, which is less than 1% of the Mahabharata, no? If one reads Mahabharata but not studies Bhagavad Gita, then actually he's missed the whole thing. So this first chapter, we have to tell a little history of Mahabharata. No? So now Bharat, people just think Bharat means India, but actually Bharat means like Nepal, Pakistan, now it's Pakistan, they say Afghanistan, Thailand, Malaysia, this China, bits of China, this whole area is called Mahabharata, extended Bharat. No? So 5,200 years ago, the earth was controlled by one king. So his name was Prithu Maharaj. Oh, sorry, his name was Partha. Sorry, Partha. Partha is the name of Arjuna. His name was Prithu. Arjuna's son, my God. Arjuna's father. So, Pandu, sorry, my God, yes, little tired today. So Pandu, no, great mistake. So he was king of the whole world, but he was not too much interested in this type of life. So he was more attracted to living in the Himalayas. So one day, he had two wives, Madri and Kunti. Actually, I never thought I'd speak about all this tonight. So one day he was hunting. He saw two deer and he shot the deer on top, the male deer, who was engaging in sex life with the female deer. So when he shot that male deer, the male deer took a human form. No, there was actually a rishi, a saintly person, a renunciant, a hermit is a good word, who was living with his wife in the forest. They could take any form they desired. So by mistake, Pandu killed this hermit. Then, of course, hermit was very sad. He said, "You rascal, you are killing me when I was approaching my wife for sex life. Therefore, I curse you. If you touch your wife, if you approach your wife for sex life, you will also die." So Pandu retired from the kingdom. And he took his two wives to the forest, no? But he had no son. So his wife, oh God, we're going to tell the whole Mahabharata. Krishna is like that, no? You start speaking, where you end up, who knows? Mahabharata is like an ocean. So Kunti, when she was a young girl, she served the great soul Durvasa Rishi. So by serving great personalities, you can fulfill any desire, anything you want. You know? So we pray, when we pray to the devotees, we pray Pancha Kalpa Tudupascha. Oh, Vaishnava, oh, devotee of Krishna, you can fulfill any desire. You know? Even the desire, I want Krishna, you can also fulfill that. Therefore, you can give anything. You know? So Durvasa Rishi was pleased with Kunti and said, I'm very happy with your service. Really, you have served me with so much affection. I give this mantra. Anyone you think of when you chant this mantra will give you a son. So Kunti was just a young girl, 12, 13, something, just a child. And she got this mantra, and nature of children, right? Inquisitive. Then she thought, does this work? So she was thinking, who is the greatest person in the material life? No? Who's the greatest? She thought, oh, the sun is the greatest. Because when the sun rises, life begins. When the sun sets, life finishes. So sun gives energy, sun gives life to everyone. So she thought of the sun god. She chanted the mantra just to see if it works. Immediately the presiding deity of the sun, Surya Dev, came there. What do you want? I must give you a son. I must give you a child. Then Kunti was horrified, because she was not married. She was very young. No, I don't want any child. I don't want a son. I don't even want you. Please go away. I was just testing this mantra just to see if it worked. Then sun god said, no, it's not like that. I am controlled by this mantra. No? So Gurudev said, even these mantras can control the demigods. So the mantra of Krishna can also control Krishna. If one chants with pure love, then this mantra can bind Krishna, can control Krishna, can reveal Krishna. No? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Seems like a simple thing. It's not simple because it's more than Krishna, can give Krishna, can reveal Krishna. No, but we are so much unfortunate, we don't understand what we got, what jewel we got. So Kunti, again and again, she said, no, I don't want any child. The sun god said, no, I must give you. That is the power of this mantra. So she said, but I'm not married. How can I have a child? The sun god said, don't worry, I will give you a child and you will give birth, but your virginity will remain intact. So that happened and she gave birth to a child. Anyway, this is before her marriage. So she was so much shame. That time a woman to have a child without a husband was unthinkable. So she put the child in a basket and floated down the Ganga. That became Karna. So she had this mantra and she had a child, but she didn't tell anyone after she was married to Pandu. Oh, should we tell all this Mahabharata? And if people can't understand Bhagavad Gita, how will they understand Mahabharata? Anyway, we started this line, so we have to finish it. So Pandu was in the forest, but he could not have sex life with his two wives. Then how can he have a child? If he has no child, then how the dynasty will be maintained? So he was like a little depressed, and Kunti told the secret of her youth. I got this mantra. Then Pandu became very happy. I can have a son, but without dying, without approaching my wife. So they thought very carefully of all the demigods, who is the greatest? Then she thought the god of religion, the god of truth, the god of time. It's all the same person. His name is Yamaraj. No, he's in charge of everyone getting what they deserve. So he has many names, but Yamaraj. No, at the time of death, everyone goes to him. No? And exactly what you deserve, your good and bad, he gives you in the form of your next birth. So he is perfect and neutral judge. What is proper, what is good, and what is bad. So thinking like this, they thought, Yamaraj, he's the topmost person. So she thought of Kunti chanted the mantra, Yamaraj came and gave a son. That son became Yudhisthira, the oldest of Kunti's sons, well, apart from Kanda. Then she wanted another child. They say woman wants at least 6 children, otherwise she's not happy. So already that means 2 she had, but 1 was secret. Then she thought, I want a child who is very powerful. Who is the most powerful? The wind god, right? Wind knock over anything, destroy anything. Who can stop the wind? No one. So she thought of the wind god. His name was Pavan Devata. He came and gave her a son. That son was extremely powerful. His name was Bhimsen. Then they thought, who is the greatest fighter? The greatest bearer of weapons? They thought Indra, the king of all the demigods. He is the greatest warrior. He's also the most handsome. So Kunti thought of Indra. Indra came, gave her a child. That child became Arjuna. Arjuna who heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna himself. Then, okay, I don't want to give too much of a psychology course, but nature of women, always should be some argument, otherwise how life goes on. So Kunti is saying that my co-wife has 3 children and I have none. This is not good. So she approached Pandu, give that mantra to me. Then Kunti said, okay, but you can only use it once. Otherwise you have more children than me, then you'll become number 1 wife. So her name was Madri. Madri was very intelligent. So there is 2 twin brothers, demigods. They're called the Aswini Kumars. They're in charge of all type of Ayurveda, herbs, medicine, like that. So she chanted the mantra. The result, she got both brothers. Both brothers means 2 children. So those 2 children were the twins. What were their names?
Sahadev.
Nakul and Sahadev.
Huh? Sahadev.
Nakul and Sahadev. Nakul, yeah.
Nakul was very handsome and Sahadev was most intelligent. All brother had split. So these are the 5 brothers. Yeah. So Pandu came back from the forest with 5 brothers. Imagine everyone how happy he was. So Pandu had a twin brother. His name was Dhritarashtra. So he was blind from birth. So these 2 brothers, Pandu was the oldest, so he was the king. Pandu went to the forest. Spring season was there. Madhuri was wearing some very fine cloth. Then he saw the beauty of his body. He could not control himself, and by providence, he approached her. Again and again, she said, no, no, don't do it, but lust is so powerful. He took her, and then he died. So Madhuri committed suicide on the funeral pyre of her husband. I said, previous wives had such love for their husband, they could not bear the thought of being alive without him. So anyway, these days, love is not like that. So they would feel the fire to be more cool than living without their husband. It's one glorious type of lady. No? So she gave up her life and she said to Kunti, who wanted to also commit suicide, she said, no, you have to take care of the children. So Kunti came back with the 5 sons. There's also the 2 sons of Madri and her own 3. These are called the 5 Pandavas. So Pandu was dead. Sorry, he had died. So the blind, now actually the sons of Pandu should have become king, but they were just children. Child cannot be king. So Dhritarashtra temporarily took the throne. And he was blind, not just materially, but also spiritually blind. And he had 100 sons and 1 daughter. Right? These became known as the Kurus. So Dhritarashtra, because of sitting on the throne, he became addicted to that power and position, but actually he had no right to the throne because the throne belonged to his brother and to the sons of his brother, not to him. But this was some emergency situation. Just like an emergency, maybe someone gives you their wallet, take care of my wallet. But you start thinking that wallet belongs to you, that is wrong. Just you are temporary caretaker. No? So Dhritarashtra, blind, became attached to becoming king. And he began thinking, why the sons of my brother should be king? Why not my own sons? So in this way, Dhritarashtra, by so many various ways, he cheated his own nephews from the kingdom. And the world became divided into two camps. Right? This is 5,200 years ago. So one camp was the sons of Kunti and Madri, the sons of Pandu, 5 brothers. They're called the Panch Pandava, the 5 Pandavas. And on the other side, the 100 sons of the blind king Dhritarashtra and his eldest son, whose name was, what's his name?
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. I can't think of anything. Sorry. So long day today. Today was big construction, big thing was done today. So the whole world was divided between these two sets of cousin brothers. Now, Krishna, as God, he had no one is his friend, no one is his enemy in one sense, because he is the father of everyone. So Krishna says in Suradam Sarvabhutanam, Krishna says, I am the well-wisher and the friend of everyone. But still Krishna is more inclined towards the devotees. This is not fault of Krishna. This is the quality of Krishna. Otherwise, who would love Krishna if Krishna just loved everyone the same? Must be those who love Krishna. Krishna must also a little bit love them more. This is Krishna's main quality, Bhakta Vatsalyata. Krishna is so much controlled, indebted to the devotee. So even though Krishna was equal to all, still he have more affection for his devotees, the Pandavas. No? So the kings of the whole world, some were taking the sides of the Pandavas, some were taking the sides of Dhritarashtra and his brothers. The whole world was divided, but Krishna had not chosen any team, any side, because he's God, neutral. No? So one day both Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and Arjuna both went to Krishna at the same time. Please join my army. That time Krishna, by providence, divine arrangement, Krishna know everything, no? So Krishna was taking rest after lunch. That is rule of Vedic culture, no? So Krishna was taking a little rest. That time Duryodhana came, because Vedic culture is very strong. Even if an enemy comes to your door as a guest, you have to fulfill their desire. Whatever a guest wants, you must give them. This is one very strong point of Vedic culture. No? It said if a guest leaves your house dissatisfied, they take with them all your good things and they leave with you all their bad things. So we should always be very careful in our dealings with guests. No? What to speak of guest is saintly person. No? So Duryodhana came and he sat near the head of Krishna. No, he thought Krishna was. But Arjuna came a little later, he sat at the feet of Krishna. So when Krishna woke up, Krishna looked towards his feet. Oh, Arjuna, you have come. How can I help you? How can I serve you? When a guest comes, that's what we should ask. How can I, what do you want? How can I help you? Then Duryodhana, who is at the head of Krishna, no, I was here first. You should ask me first what I want. Then Krishna smiled. Oh, it's true you may have come first, but Arjuna is younger and I saw Arjuna first. So just like if many people come to eat, you should feed the smallest person first, like children and stuff. So I saw Arjuna first, and he is younger than me, so he has more right. No? What do you want? So both of them said, Krishna, please join our army. Then Krishna was in a jam. So Krishna, very intelligent, he said, Arjuna, you can choose. Me, I will not fight and I will have no weapons. You can choose me alone with no weapons and I promise not to fight, or you can take my army. I had so many millions of soldiers, Krishna's personal army called the Narayan Sen. What do you want? Then immediately Arjuna, I will take Krishna without fighting, without any weapons. And Arjuna very happy because devotee never want Krishna's things. They want Krishna. There's a big difference. And non-devotee never want Krishna, but they want Krishna's things. Like the materialist, right? They're not interested in Krishna, but all Krishna is earth, water, fire, air, ether. all planetary systems, America, Canada, all these things, all the women, all the gold, they'll take those things, but Krishna not. So devotee love Krishna, not Krishna's things, and non-devotee love Krishna's things, but not Krishna. So Arjuna said, I'll take Krishna with nothing. I'll just want Krishna. Then Duryodhana also happy because he think what Krishna can do if he doesn't fight, useless fellow, just have to feed him 3 times a day, only loss. So Krishna satisfied both of them, how much he is expert. This is one of the 64 qualities of Krishna. With one activity, he can accomplish many, many things just by doing one thing. So Krishna, then Arjuna said, oh Krishna, I know, I want one benediction. You will not fight, but you can drive my chariot. No? This normally is quite an insult. Like if you go to Donald Trump and say, oh Donald Trump, please drive my, can you drive me to the airport or something? Can you become my Uber driver? They become insulted. What? What? You know who I am, big person? And you are asking me to be a chauffeur, a driver? But Krishna agreed. Okay, I will be a driver because driver not fight. So I can still keep my promise. So that's how it came. This Mahabharata, this first chapter, these kings and soldiers of the whole world came to fight for the earth as a prize. On one side was the Pandavas, the 5 brothers, with Krishna as their driver. On the other side was the Kurus. I think there was a total of like 500 million soldiers. That means the combined armies of both. Actually, Mahabharata gives exactly how many horses, how many chariots, how many spearmen, how many archers, how many chariot drivers, how many elephants. It gives the exact number. So, but I've heard a number of 500 million soldiers. You can't imagine the size of this. This was the original World War, right? World War I took 6 years, but this Mahabharata only took 18 days. So, Arjuna, he wanted to see who is fighting against him. So he requested Krishna. Oh, Keshav, when Krishna has so many names. Keshav means whose hair is very attractive. His name is Keshav. No? Keshav also means who is the controller, the Ishwara, the Lord of Brahma and Shiva. He is also called Keshav. So, oh, Keshav, take me in the middle. I want to see who has come to fight with me. This is natural, right? So the opening scene of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna being driven by Krishna into the middle of the battlefield. And what did Arjuna see? Who is he on the other side? They're not enemies. They're all his cousin brothers, 100 brothers, like cousin brothers. No. He grew up with them. No. He knows them since childhood. On the other side are his uncles, his own guru, his grandfather, many, many friends, many, many relatives. No. So Arjuna, naturally, he is devotee. Devotee have many symptoms. One symptom doesn't want to give pain or distress to anyone. So Arjuna, his heart becomes full of compassion. What, I have to kill all these people just to become, that my brother will become king? No. Actually, the kingdom, the proper king, the proper person, he become king to serve and protect the citizens. Nowadays, people become prime minister or president just to loot, just to steal everything off the citizens. That is the modern politician. Right? Fill your pockets, get a huge pension, pay off all your buddies, right, Kevin? The modern day politician. Think what's his name? Boris Johnson cares if you live or die? Don't care a word. No? So the modern politicians, they are like rapists, thieves, criminals. But real king, he's actually like father of everyone. So Arjuna's mentality was not to take the earth and enjoy it. No, I will protect. No, I will serve. Like father, how much he serve and protect children. Arjuna thinking like that. Not just people, cows, trees, forests, civilization, community. Arjuna king have big responsibility in the Vedic times. So Arjuna think, what? I will kill all these people. The only reason to become king is to serve such people, like my grandfather, my uncles, my friends, citizens. So how can I enjoy a kingdom covered by the blood of those people I meant to serve and protect? No. Also, no doubt Arjuna will kill them. Arjuna is so powerful. He has so many weapons he got from all demigods, including Shiva, including Brahma's weapon. That's a long story in Mahabharata if you read. Arjuna got all the divine weapons from all the demigods, including Lord Shiva's ultimate weapon. Arjuna, before the Mahabharata, Arjuna went to the Himalayas to do austerities. I will please Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva will give me weapons for this war. No. So as he was worshipping Lord Shiva, he was in the Himalayas meditating, and then one hunter came, dark, no, like Purushottam, except without the mustache. Hey, and at that time there was one pig, one demon, one pig in the form of one demon in the form of a pig. So he wanted to kill Arjuna because now Arjuna is meditating. I will kill him easily. So Arjuna saw this pig. He took his weapon. I will kill you. That time one hunter came, very dark but very handsome. Who is that hunter, Kevin? Who was he? Kevin, for 10 bhakti points, I'll give you a hint. Shiva. It was Lord Shiva. Right. So Arjuna took his weapons to kill the boar. At the same time, the hunter took his weapons. Arjuna said, oh, hunter, give up. I have seen this demon first. Hunter said, no, you get lost. I have seen him first. And both shot their arrows and killed the demon at the same time. Arjuna said, I have killed the demon. The hunter said, no, I have killed the demon. Then they began to abuse each other. They began fighting. But how astonishing, Arjuna's all weapons had no impact on the hunter. Even he put his sword on the hunter's head, the sword just broke. Arjuna had no weapons. This hunter was obviously incredibly powerful, but Arjuna did not run because he's a hero. So he started fighting the hunter with his bare hands, wrestling. And this hunter had punches like thunderbolts. They were beating each other, fighting. And Arjuna became very distressed. This guy's going to beat me. If this guy defeats me, how will I ever please Lord Shiva? So he said to the hunter, just wait a second. He ran and made a little deity of Shiva, began worshipping that deity. Oh, Shiva, please save me, please protect me. Then he put some flowers on that little deity. Then he looked and saw that same flowers were on the hunter. Now Arjuna began to weep. Oh, I was fighting with Lord Shiva, I didn't know. Then Shiva was very satisfied with Arjuna. Arjuna, you are so brave. Other person would have run, but you are so brave, so great fighter, great person. What benediction you want? Then I want your personal weapon. Shiva so generously gave. In this way, Arjuna had collected all the divine weapons of all the demigods. So who can defeat him? No. So Arjuna knows, I will kill them all. I know. But I will kill them, then what will happen to all their children? What will happen to their wives? No, they will become just no father to protect the family. Then what will happen? Children will grow up to become criminals. Children will be spoiled. Lusty men will take these women. The family structure, society will be destroyed. So I will be the cause of so much death, so much sorrow. I will be the cause of destruction of society. Why? Just so that I can become king? So Arjuna's heart melted. No, I will not fight. But he was also bewildered and confused. What to do, what not to do. Just like we are also so much confused in life. Should I do this or should I do that? Right, Kevin? Should I do this? Should I do that? Is this good or is this bad? Is this auspicious? Is this inauspicious? Will this give good result or bad result? We're also so much confused. But Arjuna is lucky. Why? His chariot driver is Krishna, God. His best friend also happens to be the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna is in a win-win situation. So this first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is only Arjuna speaking all these things. How can I fight? I cannot fight, this, that. Better I live in the jungle, I become a mendicant, than kill these people and become king like this. So the first chapter is just Krishna speaking. See, most people when they read Bhagavad Gita, they just read all these names and they become what? Krishna's trying to convince Arjuna to kill all these relatives? What is this? Right? If someone just picks up Gita, they'd probably think Krishna is some form of psychopath. Right, Kevin? What do you think? Krishna convincing Arjuna to kill all his relatives? What's this? So they completely misunderstand the platform of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, most people read first chapter, then finish. No. Even someone wrote to me like 2 days ago, no, Krishna is meant. They said like this, what type of person is Krishna trying to convince him to kill all his relatives? What is this? This is God? So, anyway, if you do have good fortune to make it past the first chapter, then you'll hear Krishna's answer. So, Krishna, who is Krishna? Who is speaking Bhagavad Gita? First, we have to understand, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj wrote in his commentary, first we have to accept that Krishna is God, theoretically. Then you can understand Bhagavad Gita. Right, Kevin? All right. If you get an email and you know who's Donald Trump, just say, I don't know why I'm thinking Donald Trump tonight. If you get an email from Donald Trump, if you know who's Donald Trump, then you'll take it seriously. Donald Trump? My God, what he wants. You'll take it seriously because you know who is he. So in the same way, if we theoretically accept Krishna as God, then Bhagavad makes perfect sense. Right? If Krishna is just another person like us, or just a teacher, or even just a saint, then Bhagavad Gita makes no sense at all. Krishna is saying, give everything to me, surrender everything to me. Think of me at the time of death. Perform all your actions for my enjoyment. So if Krishna is God, then it's easy to understand. Okay. But if Krishna is not God, then what's the use in surrendering to him? What's the use in offering everything to him? There's no benefit at all. Therefore, who is speaking Bhagavad Gita? Nothing in this place works. Who is speaking Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavan Uvacha. Vyasadeva used that word, Bhagavan. What is the meaning of Bhagavan? In English, we say God, or Lord, or something. But in the Vedic culture, Krishna here is called Bhagavan. No? Van means someone who possesses something. Like in Hindi, even these days, oh, he's Gunavan, means that person has many qualities. He's Dhanivan, he's very wealthy. Like that. Even today, they still use this language. So who is Krishna? He is Bhagavan. Oh, Vyasadeva is still there. Okay, Bhagavan. Bhag means division, like a piece. Division is a better word. So Bhagavan, that person who has 6 bhags, 6 qualities, 6 divisions, like a slice of pie is called a bhag. Right? So Bhagavan means that person, Van means that person who possesses 6 things, unlimitedly. So Aiswaryasya samagasya viryasya yasasasya jnana vargasya ititan bhaga namaha. Ititan bhaga namaha. That person who has these 6 qualities unlimitedly, that person is called God. Bhagavan. No? Like we have some beauty. Like Vyasadeva, handsome guy, right? Some beauty. Kevin has some intelligence. Makeshri has, what does Makeshri have? Anyway, everyone has something. Some beauty, some knowledge, some wealth, some renunciation, some strength, some reputation. But Krishna is the person who possesses complete these 6 qualities completely, unlimitedly. No. So Krishna possesses unlimited Shri. Shri means beauty, opulence, wealth. Shri has many meanings, Shri. So someone who has all the wealth, all the beauty, all the reputation, all knowledge, all fame, all strength, that person is God. So Arjuna is asking his questions to who? Not just some Tom, Dick, or Harry, not just some saint, not just some right. Everyone has their own vision of Krishna, right? Especially the Western Indologist. If you go to the Oxford Dictionary, Krishna, what does it say? Krishna, mythological figure. What do you think, Kevin? Cleopatra is nowhere Cleopatra is called a mythological figure, or Genghis Khan, he's not called a mythological figure. Why is Krishna called suddenly a mythological figure? That means immediately they put Krishna in the category of Smurfs and leprechauns, this type of thing. No? So who is Krishna? Right? He's not just another soul, another teacher, another knowledgeable person. Like people say, oh, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Allah is all same. But Krishna is not even on the category of a great teacher or even a liberated soul. Who is he? He is the soul of all souls. He is the cause of all causes, the beginning of everything. He is the original source of all potencies. He is omniscient. He knows everything. He is omnipresent. He is present everywhere. He is omnipotent. He possesses unlimited potencies, unlimited energies. Means he's got everything. Right? So he has no material body. Why? Material body cannot possess unlimited beauty or fame, because material body is always decreasing. Old age is there, right, Mark? No matter how much we try, stomach's always going out. Hair's always becoming white, no matter what we do. So material body cannot be possessed of all beauty. But Krishna is possessed of that. So Krishna has no material form, no material body. He's not like us. We are changing bodies one after the other, but Krishna never changes body. His body is eternal. Our bodies are made of meat and skin, bone, flesh, stool and urine, mucus and bile. But Krishna's body is made of 3 things: eternality, knowledge, and bliss. Even though he's the oldest being, he never looks older than 15 years, 8 months, and 10 days old. That is the eternal age of Krishna. The eternal teenager. The eternally all-attractive personality. No, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said, the supreme personality of God. So who is answering Arjuna's 16 questions? Not just some guy. God, Bhagawan. Therefore, if you want to know what God looks like, then just look on the front cover of Bhagavad Gita. There he is. That's what it looks like. No. So Krishna describes himself, why he comes to this world, how he comes to this world. No? We should not make the mistake if Krishna comes to this material world, he will also be like us. No? Just like another dumb example. Imagine the president of America went into the jail, disguised as a prisoner. Right? Maybe the ordinary people don't know who he is, but someone knows who he is. Even though he's in the jail, he's mixing with the prisoners, maybe even looks like a prisoner, but he's not a prisoner. Right? He may look like an ordinary human being, but Krishna is not a human being. No, he never takes birth. He never dies. He is not like us. So problem is, 2 great obstacles for understanding Bhagavad Gita. One is materialism, means thinking Krishna is material. And the other one is impersonalism, thinking that Krishna is not a person. Right? So if Krishna is not a person, who is driving Arjuna's chariot? Casper the friendly ghost? If Krishna was not a person, who was answering Arjuna's questions? So Krishna is a person. He's eternally a person. He is the eternal person, right? He's not some ordinary person. If in the very beginning we can have a little bit of this feeling, okay, we're not saying you have to fully accept, but just this background, yes, who is answering Arjuna's questions, then Bhagavad Gita is very, very easy and very simple to understand. But for the beginning, you not accept Krishna's the position of Krishna, then Bhagavad Gita is impossible to understand. It makes no sense. Okay, so we're a little busy today. Hey, today we put the first floor on the temple. Mark, when are you coming to India? Huh?
I don't know.
But you got your money saved, right? You keep some money in that bank account. Don't touch it.
I'm a householder and a business owner, so it's very hard.
Don't worry, you just get $2,000 and stick it somewhere. Someone's dying, I've got to put, no, nothing. That money is fully reserved for Vrindavan. That's the only way, right? You just give, if you know someone you fully trust, just give them that $2,000 and tell them, no matter what happens, don't give it to me until I'm ready to go to India. Okay.
I would love to someday. Thank you.
Okay, so anyway, we're here in Mayapur building new temples. So today really is like great after a long time. Finished the first floor. Means, anyway, it's all coming together. It's quite exciting. No? So any questions from anyone? Vyasadev, who's that person who's with you? Who is that?
This is my mom.
Oh my God, your mother.
Hi, Guru, Hare Krishna.
What's your name, mother?
Mom. Melissa.
You're vegetarian?
Yeah. Yeah, since we're about 40 years.
Oh my God, longer than me. Good for you. Have you come to India yet?
No, I got invited to Mathura, but I have not gone yet.
Okay, we've been trying to drag Vyasadeva for years. Okay, maybe you can try and come in October this year, if everything goes well, if COVID and all that relaxes a bit. Everyone can try in October's big festival, 1 month festival here in Vrindavan called Kartik. I guess it begins, July, August 21. October 21st, it should begin this year, right? Sometime like that. So if you can come that time, will be nice, no? Okay, do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, Harry Paul, I have a question.
Richard, okay, good, yes.
Okay, so you said that Krishna's eternal age is 16 years old or something.
Yeah,
but I know in
10
other stories of Krishna when he's an adult, that he's a king in other places. And then at some point, aren't there stories where he actually gets killed, eventually shot by an arrow in the heel? So how is this like a koan that he's eternally 16? I mean, how is that? Thank you.
This is cheating. This is cheating. This is like a magician, right? A magician and his show. Just like, imagine there's a magic show and he's cutting people in half, right? You know, in the magic show, they put the lady in the box and they cut her in half, and they stab him with a knife and they pull the rabbit out of the hat. So in half, oh my God, this is terrible, right? Because they don't understand this is a magic show. They don't understand. But the people who are working with the magician, who've seen the show 1,000 times, they're not bewildered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is Krishna's magic show. Krishna does these things to cheat the non-devotees. To cheat them. No? Those who don't believe in Krishna, Krishna gives them full facility why you shouldn't believe in Krishna. Because they don't want to believe in Krishna, Krishna fulfills their desires to bewilder them.
So you're saying that those other stories in India are
they're there in Mahabharata, but what is the proper understanding of, right? Poor Richard, we haven't even talked about Krishna's birth, and Richard already wants to get rid of Krishna by mentioning his death.
Sorry.
So this is Krishna, right? try and understand nothing is impossible for him. So he has no birth, but he takes birth.
So it's like a koan, really.
What? I couldn't hear.
Like a koan, like a Zen koan. In other words, like the doctrine of the Trinity. It doesn't, it kind of doesn't. You can't use it.
This has nothing to do with Zen or Christianity or anything. Krishna is a separate thing.
But you can't use the logical mind to understand it. It only goes so far.
Okay, so Krishna's disappearance is to bewilder the non-devotees, like those who have no belief in Krishna's eternality. When they hear about Krishna's death, what's the use in worshiping Krishna? He also died, right? In this way, Krishna deceives them. So Krishna's disappearance is like a trick, like a magic show. The devotees never bewildered by this, but the non-devotees always bewildered by this. Right? So Mahabharata describes when Krishna's disappearance was understood by different levels of people in a different way. Okay, do we really have to talk about Krishna's disappearance now? Because it's a long story.
No, thank you. Thank you. I mean,
So
I was asking because I know it's
those with fully spiritual vision. They understood that Krishna never dies. In his original spiritual form, he went back to the spiritual world. Those who had the proper vision. Well, this is just like a cheating, like a game, like a show, like Maya, like illusion. But for those who are captured by illusion, what did they see? Krishna was pierced by an arrow. He died. They performed his cremation.
Oh, okay.
So those who are so Krishna left a material form to bewilder the non-devotees into thinking that Krishna was also immortal, who lived and died. So understand? Like Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita is considered the full conception of God consciousness. So after seeing Krishna face to face, they still tried to kill Krishna in the next 18 days of the battle. They saw him, they saw God face to face. They heard the explanation from Krishna himself, who is Krishna. But why they still tried to kill him in the following 18 days war? Means could they understand who he was? Therefore thinking him to be there, oh, Krishna is my enemy, he's on the other side. I'll try and kill him. Right? They had that qualification. They understood Krishna in that way, but that is not the perfect way of understanding. So Krishna's disappearance also understood by different levels of people in different ways. The devotee understands Krishna has an eternal, right? If Krishna was killed by a hunter's arrow and died, then why Krishna didn't die in the middle of the Mahabharata facing the greatest warriors on the earth plane? Right? The greatest warriors on the earth planet were throwing all type of celestial weapons at Krishna. Krishna didn't die. Hunter.
Why do those stories exist then? I mean, just to
bewilder the non-devotees.
Okay, well, it's also interesting. I think Achilles was killed by an arrow as well in like Greek mythology.
Yes, Krishna was a few thousand years before him. Don't worry about that. It's a long history, but that's also described in Bhagavatam at the end. No? Krishna stayed on this earth planet, 125 years. And through the Mahabharata war and other things that Krishna did, he removed the burden of the earth. Because one of the reasons Krishna appears in this world is to crush irreligion. So Krishna did that. He accomplished that quite easily. That's not very difficult for him. So after 125 years had passed, Krishna thought, I've removed the burden of the earth, but there's one burden that is still on this earth, that is my own devotees. Right? Krishna had 16,108 wives. Each wife had 10 sons and 1 daughter. Those 10 sons also married. So you could imagine what was the size of Krishna's direct family? It was in Krishna's direct family, what to speak of all supporters, friends, servants, cooks, you know. Millions. They're called the Brishnis, Krishna's personal family. So Krishna thought, I've removed all the burdens on the earth except my own devotees. Who can remove them? They're so powerful, they cannot be removed by anyone. They can only remove themselves. Just like if a thorn goes in your foot, how you take out a thorn, you have to use another thorn to take them out. So Krishna think, how can I remove myself and all these devotees? They are all eternal associates, liberated souls. Who can remove them? Who can remove me? So Krishna made a plan how to remove himself and everyone at the same time. This is his Leela, not so easy to understand. So one day, Krishna said to all the Brishnis, because Kali Yuga was approaching, as long as Krishna was present on the earth planet 5,000 years ago, this present degraded age of Kali Yuga had no real power because Krishna was personally there. So, but Krishna was looking, how can I get out? How can I remove myself and everyone from this material world? Hiding the beauty of devotion at the same time. Like someone has a great wealth, you don't show it like that. You keep it hidden. So Krishna in a very skillful way protected the integrity of himself and the devotees by this pastime of the disappearance Leela. So Krishna said, we should all go to the holy place called Prabhas. Krishna had also been cursed at the end of the Mahabharata war, because the blind king, Dhritarashtra, his wife's name was Gandhari. So her 100 sons were killed. So she cursed Krishna, as you arranged the disappearance of all my relatives. In the same way, you and all your relatives will also be killed in 16 years. So Krishna smiled, because who can curse Krishna? Krishna is independent. No one can curse him, no one can bless him. But if he wants, if it's favorable for himself. So even though no one can really curse Krishna because he's fully independent, he's not, right? So, but he accepted the curse, even though he didn't have to. Okay, I accept your curse. That was one cause, the curse of Gandhari. So all went to the holy place, all the soldiers, all the family members, and all began drinking. Krishna and his devotees are perfect, but they want to teach us. If you drink, if you take drugs, intoxication, you lose your mind, you lose your intelligence, you lose idea of what is important, what is true. Therefore, devotees don't drink or smoke or anything because it destroys intelligence. So Krishna wanted to show, don't drink, don't take these things. Look what happens. So everyone was drinking. Then, of course, when you're drunk, what happens? Vyasadeva, what do the guys do on every Friday and Saturday night? Drink, and some quarrel comes, some argument. They began abusing each other, fighting. They took weapons. They were so mad, they even tried to kill Krishna. And in 48 minutes, something like 350 million of Krishna's personal associates killed each other in 48 minutes. Who else could kill them? No one else could kill them. Only themselves could kill themselves. But this is a magic show. Actually, no one killing anyone. This is just to bewilder the non-devotees, some excuse for Krishna to finish up his pastimes in this world. So there's also another story, how Krishna could be killed in the foot. One was the curse of Gandhari. You will all be finished in 16 years. Another time, one great saint called Durvasa came to Dwarka. Already we talked about him in the beginning of the class. He was very powerful. He could give any great benediction or curse someone if they didn't please him. So he came to Dwarka, and Krishna served him like anything to teach us. Without serving great spiritual persons, one cannot get any good thing in this world. So Krishna personally showing example. And to serve Durvasa was not easy. He would wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm very hungry. Give me sweet rice. Give me puris and sabji. Then Krishna would wake up and cook all these things for him. Durvasa Rishi said, make some sweet rice. Krishna made him a big pot of sweet rice. Then Durvasa said, I want to see the city. Take me on a tour. So But Durvasa said, no, I want your wives to drag me on the chariot. Okay, Vyasadev's mom's horrified. So Krishna agreed, yes. Krishna teaching us what Guru wants, what high-class person wants. Don't question, don't think, just do it. You'll get good result. Krishna giving example. So Krishna merely brought his wife onto the chariot, pulled the chariot. The saintly person wants to see the city of Dwarka. So Durvasa was not happy because Rukmini could not pull the chariot fast enough. Faster, faster. Durvasa Rishi began not whipping her, of course, but like with a whip beating near her. Faster. Who can tolerate this? Ordinary man, you abuse his wife in front of him, how much he become disturbed, because that person also controlled by lust and greed and illusion and many things. But Krishna is not like us. Krishna is showing everything we have to use to satisfy the saints in this world. So Krishna giving example. Then Durvasa Rishi said to Krishna, he ate some sweet rice and he said, cover yourself and your wife with this sweet rice. Imagine Vyasadeva in the middle of the Christmas dinner, someone said, cover your mother in that. Krishna, immediately without question, he covered himself in sweet rice and his wife. Then Durvasa Rishi became angry. He jumped off the chariot and ran away. Krishna followed him. Oh, great saint, please don't. How did we dissatisfy you? Please come back. We're very sorry. We could not satisfy you. That is our lacking. Please come back. What do you want? Then Durvasa Rishi saw, only Krishna could be like this, completely free from attachment and false ego. Ordinary man, you abuse his wife, you become like a volcano. No. But Krishna is not ordinary, it's like us. No? Because everything comes from him, there's nothing apart from himself to become attached to. So Krishna has no attachment. No? Only he can be freely devoid of false ego because he has no material body. So Durvasa Rishi, his heart fully melted. He saw this were the glories of Krishna. He was testing. Actually, he was showing the world. Why everyone serves Krishna? Because only Krishna is like this. Only Krishna have these qualities. So Durvasa Rishi's heart melted. Oh, Krishna, no one can be like this. Like, no one. No. So I'm very satisfied. Like this, he gave some benediction. Your body will be immortal like this. But one place Krishna did not put the sweet rice. Where was that? On the bottom of his feet. Who thinks of that, right? So Durvasa Rishi said, but one thing you lack.
Okay.
But actually Krishna have a completely spiritual foot also. No one can kill him because there's no difference between his body and his soul. Anyway, many things, but this is too difficult to explain in 5 minutes. So that is how Krishna allowed himself to be shot in the foot. But don't think that caused Krishna to die and he was cremated. Only a foolish non-believer think like that. No. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the argument. When Krishna was maybe 2 years old, his mother saw the entire creation in his mouth. So if an arrow pierced Krishna's foot and Krishna died, that means the whole creation would have been destroyed. But we see that is not so. So many arguments he gives don't think that Krishna was killed by an arrow. This is just his leela, his magic show. No. But really, this is an excuse. Krishna left one material form there to cheat the non-devotees. Just like the magician puts some tomato sauce and it looks like he cut off his head or something. So Krishna left one material form to cheat the non-devotees. Like, I heard you're going to which group you're studying with now, Richard?
The Himalayan Institutes.
Yeah, so what are they saying about Krishna's dying?
Oh, they're not. Well, just a friend of mine I know from there. I guess he's more of a Shiva person. He just sees that there's many because Krishna was a king in different eras. He's just there's other, I don't know if they're considered pastimes, but stories of Krishna when he was an adult and all kind. I don't know the stories, but he just says there's many stories of Krishna. So,
but you have to hear from the right person, otherwise you'll get the misconception.
Right. Yes. Well, that's why I'm asking.
Anyway, these things also in Mahabharata. But actually, you think Krishna never shot in the foot, Krishna never died. This one excuse, Krishna give up his pastimes. Okay, but non-devotee will think, what's the use in so much Hari Ram, Hari Krishna? Krishna also died, look. They think like that.
Right. I think that they're more, I mean, I guess they're, they're Hindu, they're Vedic people, and I guess they're more like Shiva. I don't know, more Shiva devotees, I guess. I don't know.
Anyway, you have to hear all these things properly from proper guru, no? Then you can understand. Otherwise, you get some misconception and you lose everything. No? Does anyone else have any questions?
So my question is, so Krishna gives us exactly what we want to see and exactly what we want to experience with Krishna?
Yes, why Krishna should force his Godhead on you if you don't want to accept it? And he gives the other things, okay, accept that. Krishna gives some freedom to us all. No? Like people hear Krishna was stealing butter, but what do they think? He's a thief. They don't think the devotee hear these things, the devotee understand in a different way. Krishna is so much controlled by their devotion, he has to take their offering. So Krishna stealing butter is his glory, it's not his fault. But anyway, everyone understand in their own way. Anything else? Okay, Swanalata, anything?
I have one question.
Who is this?
Rajeshwari?
Okay. Where's your husband? Is he having the 1 hour shower?
No, he's here. He doesn't like, he's shy for camera.
Okay, there he is.
Hare Krishna
Haribol. Haribol.
So my Dandavat and my question
Satyavrat,
is,
right? That's right.
yes, Satyavrat.
What's your question?
So like Krishna's fulfilling all of our desires. Every individual, what we want, he's giving. And so my question is, like, our desires are like taking us here and there, and like we're reaping like the karmic reaction. So how do we like change our desires? How do we give up like material desires?
By proper association. Like now we think this is important, that's important. But when you meet the pure devotee of Krishna, then you realize, no, actually Krishna is important. So desire changes by association, no? Like when I was small, I wanted to become a cowboy, like with a horse and all that, cowboy. Yeah, how I got that desire. Mother's place. So that desire come by that. And afterwards we met devotees and some other desire came. So desire comes by association. So desires change by good association. Okay? We are not our desires. What we think now is very important. These have no real relation to us, to the soul. Okay, so desires change by association. Okay? Lalit Kishore, anything to say?
No, Maharaj, thank you.
Okay. Take it. Anything else? Who else is there? Purushottam has never anything good to say anyway. So, okay. And
Gurudev, can I ask some question?
who is this?
This is Saraswati.
Okay, but no questions about unicorn.
It's about from this 16 question from Arjuna, and he was asking how to remember Krishna during that time I will die, that moment.
Which question was that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yes, anyway, so
how to do this?
read Bhagavad Gita. What did Krishna say? Why asking me? Don't be so lazy. You have to do the work yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
God, everyone just wants the right, Mark. Why should I read Bhagavad Gita? Let me just answer the question. 16 questions are there. In Gurudev's commentary, he gives them all, one by one. Okay, that can be another topic for another class.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Okay, Richard, you're still doing Ekadasi?
I did yesterday. Yes, sir.
Good for you. My God. Great.
I just did a water fast just the whole day.
Right. How you feel?
Good.
Yeah. Instead, if you associate with all these rubbish guys, and you'll get confused, you'll get bewildered. Right? Because they themselves don't know, so they'll just bewilder you also. They may mean well, but the road to hell is paved with good intention.
Well, yeah, and I know there's a lot of levels to this. Like, you know, for example, like in the Bible, like God tells Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, right?
Right.
And,
Yeah. Krishna's a
there's-
psychic. The
yeah,
Bible.
Krishna is telling Arjuna to kill his relatives. So there's very much parallels there.
That's why no one takes up religion these days.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But it's never boring.
Okay, Dan, you have any questions? Don Fraser, any question? No?
Oh,
Okay, it's super late here. We should do this again.
I will. Thank
Okay,
you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Makeshri she'll make a schedule and we'll send the class out a few days early so everyone can get ready for it.
I think this is a good day and time, Guru Maharaj. I think everybody
Yeah,
was able to join who we invited.
Okay, wow. Did we start at 8 o'clock? Did we?
Mhm.
Oh, it's pretty late. Okay, let me go to sleep. It's quite late here. Okay, thank you very much. Haribol.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.